The surf is going to be fun this weekend in San Diego. Coming up, we're showing you what kind of board you should use in these conditions. That's all coming up on Fox 5. So we've been telling you all day that these are not waves for a beginner, but if you're interested in graduating to bigger waves, or if you're an expert in surfing, then this is going to be an awesome weekend here in San Diego. I've got a good surfer right next to me, Mike. He's here at Hansen's and been surfing for about, what, 30 years in California?
On and off, yeah.
So having some fun out there. What do you think about these conditions coming up this weekend?
Well, if they're right about what they're forecasting, it's supposed to be really big. So definitely, in my opinion, not so much a weekend for every single surfer out there.
All right, so we're talking about the surfers that should go out there, check out the big waves, and the kind of board that they'd want to have with them if they're headed out there. So let's take a look at some of these. I think a lot of surfers probably know this, but we'll go ahead and tell them because people who are just watching the show may be curious to see all the new shapes and sizes that are out there if they're willing to get into surfing this winter since, hey, the surf's up, right?
Right.
All right, definitely. So let's go ahead and point out some of these boards that people may not know about.
Okay, so what we have here on the end, these three boards right here, are what a lot of folks would refer to as fish-style surfboards. What you have right here, this clear one, it's white, but the lamination is clear, so what you're seeing color-wise is the foam core. This is more of a modern fish.
You know, rip around, or does it matter?
Yeah, it's probably someone who is, depending on the length of the board, if it's a fairly shorter modern style fish board, is probably someone with a little more experience.
And is it called fish because of the tail at the end, you think?
Yeah, that's what we would call a swallowtail.
Okay.
So something a little for a little more of a performance style.
Okay.
And then this pink one and this green one are a little more of a throwback maybe to the style of board that came right out of here in San Diego.
Very cool.
Which was first ridden down in the Sunset Cliffs area.
Awesome, which we all know is going to be great conditions. Let's move on to these other boards because this is really cool too. Obviously a little bit of a different shape and size. Could you explain these last ones for us and what they would be useful for?
Right, probably a little better for the type of waves that we're going to have today and over the weekend. Definitely these final two right here are more of what we would call an in-betweener, or maybe a semi-gun or a Cali gun for California.
Now why four bigger waves though? Why?
A little more length so that it makes it easier to catch a bigger wave. Okay. A little more narrow, a pin tail that's going to hold in a lot better on the type of surf that we're supposed to have through the weekend. Okay.
Now come on over here. We got to get to some of these long boards as well. These are what you were saying were for our older surfers, our silver surfers, we'll call them. Yeah.
No, not necessarily. This is actually what I myself usually ride. I would say 9 out of 10 times when I go to the beach, I'm on a bigger board. And this particular board right here is shaped by someone who's from Encinitas, Ryan Birch. And this is what we might call it, not so much a longboard or nose rider technically, more of a glider style board. The tail rocker is very flat, so compared to a traditional nose rider or a log, this is something that, regardless of the style wave, is going to create its own speed from a lot more surface area on the water.
All right, sounds like fun. What's really cool is Hansen's has been around for 50 years, so these guys know their stuff. If you come on in, they're going to help you out. They're going to get you all the accessories that you need to check out the surf. Saturday is supposed to be a great day to head out there. And if you want information on any of the stuff here at Hansen's, go to our website, fox5sandiego.com. Click on the Scene On tab. For now, I'm going to send it back to you guys in the studio.